On problems 25 and 26, it says use trigonometric identities to transform one side into the other. Now, one of my big ideas that I told you, I said change all to sine and cosine. What it does is it reduces the number of identities you need to memorize and know how to use. The problem is it does tend to complicate things sometimes. The other thing I said you had to do was know your fractions. You had to know how to work fractions. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. If you can do those things, then you should be good. All right, so let me just kind of walk you through the beginning of this. I don't want to do the entire thing for you because I do want you, because this actually does come right off the problem set. I do want to, again, stress the idea that this is like a maze. That's what your answer is. It's a process. It's a step-by-step of how do I change one side of this equation into the other, which means we can't assume, do not assume the equals. Okay, this is here that we're asked to prove that those are equal to each other, which means we don't know that they are. We're trying to prove it. So just like a maze, this is where I'm starting, this is where I'm ending. So we're going to start with one side, try to change it into the other side. However, I do want to keep an eye out on the fact that this becomes 1 over sine squared of x. So if I can somehow change this into 1 over sine squared, well, then I can make that last step here. Okay, so a couple things. Here we go. First of all, there's many different ways to go here. I do want to stress something right here. Because everything already is sine and cosine, a step that is oftentimes overlooked but I think is very useful a lot of times is that I can actually tear this fraction apart into sine of x over sine of x minus cosine of x over sine of x. Okay. And the reason I want to do that is this, and this will be the only hint I'll give you. This becomes 1. This actually is cotangent of x. So now if I bring down that plus cotangent here, and over here, we have this. Well, look at this. I have a negative cotangent, a plus cotangent. Hopefully you can see what's going to happen there. In order to get to this 1 over sine squared of x, I've got to come up with a negative 1 that'll cancel this out. So look into this to somehow get it to become a negative 1. Also, you might even be able to begin to see the cotangent squared. You might not even have to do this 1 over sine squared. You might even be able to see that here. So anyway, I hope that helps. And if need be, I can always add a few more hints.